I want us to highlight reasons why many Kenyans are saying William Ruto must be Wantam. Now, if you have read the Standard newspaper today, there is a secret conversation, a WhatsApp conversation that has been leaked by members of parliament to the Standard newspapers, to the Standard media group. In that conversation, ladies and gentlemen, you see very clearly how the national parliament and the Senate, the two chambers of legislation that Kenyans rely on, have been turned into a kitchen of the executive and to an extent the annex of the state house or the annex of the executive. Ladies and gentlemen, the parliament is a legislative chamber where issues concerning Kenya as a country and the interest, things or issues that pertains the interest of the common mwananchi are supposed to be debated and laws made and policies passed, ladies and gentlemen. And these policies and laws must be popular ones that represent the interest of the majority of Kenya. And the Constitution of Kenya is very clear, Article 1, that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya, and the people of Kenya can choose to exercise this sovereign power either independently or through their elective representatives, the elected representatives, ladies and gentlemen. The parliament is supposed to be an independent parliament chamber so that they can make their decisions independently without being interfered with by the executive. Recently, we saw how the president complained about the parliament being corrupt, that members of parliament committees are corrupt to an extent that they take bribes exceeding 10 millions for them to be able to maybe to clear a governor, those of Senate, or even to pass a law. They will not consider whether the law is punitive to the Kenyan people. Provided they are given money, they will go ahead and implement that law and pass that law, ladies and gentlemen. So the Standard today in their newspaper, they have written very clearly that they have the communication between the puppeteer President William Ruto, communication that includes WhatsApp excerpts from their in-house WhatsApp group, and that these WhatsApp excerpts, ladies and gentlemen, reveals that President William Ruto's hand in parliamentary misdeeds, despite his recent proclamation that the parliament is actually corrupt, from passing the unpopular Finance Bill 2024 and the way they removed former DP President Rigathi Gachagua, and the way they passed the unpopular laws such as that of Affordable Housing Act, and the way these people also passed the unpopular laws of SHA. Ladies and gentlemen, that shows you that this government has turned the parliament, an independent house, into an annex of the executive. The members of parliament the other day, ladies and gentlemen, confessed on the floor of the house that they have worked for William Ruto for several times. They have helped him pass his unpopular bills in government, and yet he has turned his back on them by calling them corrupt. Now they have gone ahead and exposed WhatsApp messages, ladies and gentlemen, the WhatsApp conversations between William Ruto and the members of parliament. I want to read you some of those WhatsApp excerpts, those messages that were removed from that WhatsApp group of William Ruto and the members of parliament who are aligned to him. There is this WhatsApp group that is called Project 22. That is the name of the WhatsApp group. And members in this WhatsApp group includes Murkomen, the MP, and then Karemba, MP Karemba. I don't know how many of you knows him. So in this message, uh, there is a communication that is made. Honorable members of the bicameral parliament, thank you and congratulations. You have restored the dignity of parliament and the country's leadership. The former DP was indeed an embarrassment, not only to himself, but to us that fought and still defend this government of William Ruto. Never again should we find ourselves in this situation. So this message was written by Osoro. Osoro, we all know that he is somebody who supports the agenda of William Samoei Ruto. And therefore, William Ruto has formed a group of parliamentarians who supports his agendas. And it is said that, ladies and gentlemen, that some members of parliament and even those of the Senate, those who are not aligned with the Kenya Kwanza administration, whenever they bring up a bill in government, a bill on the floor of the House, a bill, a legislative bill that is meant to help the people of Kenya, a bill that means well for the people of Kenya, as long as these people bringing these bills do not align with the Kenya Kwanza, what is done is that these bills are shelved. They are put aside. They are put aside, and only the bills that align or are from those that align with the government are given a go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wantam slogan is very important in this matter. And there are reasons that I want to highlight that will tell you why William Samoei Ruto must go home. And of course, the first reason that I've stated is that one of actually capturing the State House, capturing the Parliament, and part of the judiciary. Some of the judges of the High Court are pocketed by the executive. Number one reason why we are saying these guys must go home is that the members of Parliament aligned to Kenya Kwanza have supported unpopular bills that have been punitive to the people of Kenya, and they are still punitive. Those bills, ladies and gentlemen, that have passed on the floor of the House, and they do not represent the interest of Kenyans. Even at the height when Kenyans went on the street to protest against punitive laws that were being legislated in the assembly at that time, despite that outcry on the street, on the very day that they were voting for these unpopular bills, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 finance bill went through. But fortunately, after being forced and pushed to the wall, the president nullified that bill. So they passed that law, and part of it was SHA. And SHA, ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen on the news, is stealing from Kenyans. The NHIF was doing very well, but this guy came and lied to us that each and every Kenyan is going to contribute just 300 shillings to be able to access services on SHA. But it turned out that there's a form, an online form that is being asking you questions, and at the end of that form, you are being told that you are getting to where you have answered the question, you are going to pay 2,000, you're going to pay 8,000. But NHIF, everybody was just paying 500, and that scheme was working very well. But when it comes to SHA, ladies and gentlemen, it was designed so that money can be stolen with ease. We have seen how a Mandera hospital has been given, a private hospital, that is headed by the chairman of SHA, Dr. Mohammed somebody. It has been given 66 billion Kenyan shilling in this new NHIF scandal, ladies and gentlemen. This guy came and dismantled help loan. The help loan was paying fees for the students of this country, the university and college students, in an amicable way. Everybody was getting the share. The only requirements were for you to fill that form, send it to help office, let it be signed, and then you get the necessary support from the government, financial support to help you in your fees, ladies and gentlemen. But today, what we are having, ladies and gentlemen, is a help loan that is only serving a few people. And the reason why they brought up this help loan that is supposed to serve a few people, so that they can steal the rest of the money, ladies and gentlemen. The housing levy was imposed on loyal working Kenyans, the hard-working Kenyans, those who are working for the government and those in private sectors. Both of them are feeling the burden and the heavy weight that was thrown to them by these housing levies. The government intentionally infiltrated into the payslips of hardworking Kenyans and is robbing them day in, day out without anything being done. Abductions and killing of our young people, ladies and gentlemen. It is only under the administration of this government that we have witnessed a mass killing, a mass assassination, a mass abduction, and the loss of our loved ones without a word from the same government that claimed to be the government of the people. It's only under this administration, ladies and gentlemen, that we have seen a collapse of Mama Mboga business, that we have seen a reduction in the income of border sector, and we have seen a hostile environment for those of us who are doing business in the country. To liberate us from all this, ladies and gentlemen, the Wantam team is very prepared, and what they need is your support. In 2027, as we head to the polls, ladies and gentlemen, it is a humble request that we all come together and rally behind the one opposition candidate that will be provided for us as we move to the next level. So the one term is not a joke, but indeed it is something that should be taken serious by everybody that is in this country. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscription button and smash that notification bell.